Hello and welcome to Sovereign RPG. I am Sovereign and today we have the actual game maintenance announcement for tomorrow's update detailing all the new features and bug fixes that will be coming, and we'll be going into that after this intro.
Warp drive active.
So let's get straight into the bread and butter of the announcement. We have the new features and we're going to be starting off with the reduced drop rate of dead space modules and reduce the debris drop rate of some enemies. Now I know for myself when I was doing the storyline missions T10s I was getting hundreds of debris per annihilate, which was absolutely mental. It dropped the cost of all of the debris on the market by a massive amount. That was definitely a change that needed to be made. We obviously knew about the dead space modules before. We were told that they will be dropped down on the 25th of November. Again, that's something else that needs to be done because of the dead space modules cost has dropped down significantly, mainly because I can't sell my own ones. So there's been some adjustments to Inertia Modifiers of the Sigil, Badger, Nereus, and Wreath class, and obviously the tier 2 variants of those ships. They have been raised to 0.48, 0.49, 0.47, and 0.47 respectively for both of those haulers, making them get into warp just a little bit faster. They also adjusted the warp speed of those haulers to 4.5 AU a second. This is another good change, will help those guys wanting to do the missions for the hauling and to help people be able to move their stuff around a lot quicker. It's definitely needed considering how small the haulers are. I wish they would actually just give them bigger holds because we can't carry nearly enough, especially when it comes to the minerals and the ore. So they've added an exclusive cargo hold to the Sigil, Badger, Nereus, Wreath, Sigil, Badger 2, Nereus 2, and Wreath 2. I'm guessing these exclusive cargo holds will be minerals, there'll be ore, there'll be cargo hold for the deliveries, etc. Now this is an interesting one because I believe the shuttles were actually pointless to have. They had no reason to exist, but they have rose the warp speed of the 4 shuttles to 6.5 AU a second, and that's not all when you'll see in a little bit something quite massive. So the roll bonus of the Drake has been upped to 12.5% and 12.5% on both thermal damage and kinetic damage for medium missiles and torpedoes, making them hit just that little bit harder. Now this is something that I've been complaining about for a long time, the NPC adjustment to the speed of storyline elites. Now we know they go upwards of 6,000 to 7,000 meters a second, which is absolute insanity. There's no way that a player in a feasible fit can get these speeds and orbit with the inertia that they have. And I don't know if you guys have been doing any, like maybe the Sancha Elite dead spaces where you're running around and you're seeing a succubus or phantasm shoot past you at 24,000 meters a second and overshoot you by 80 kilometers. It was kind of ridiculous that speed reduction needed to happen. They've added a description for late claims on the monthly login rewards screen. Not quite sure what they're going to be adding there. They've improved the upper left corner content display. That'll be your battery, your 4G, your 5G, your Wi-Fi, etc. The interface of customer support is now available in Russian. There's been some more description, added some modules. So the Higgs particle anchor, the reactive shield hardener, adaptive invulnerability field, reactive armor hardener, etc. There was a lot of confusion as to what these do, especially if you're brand new to the game. I always get questions about the reactive shield hardeners myself. So they've added a new feature where players are unable to request shipping containers larger than the capacity of their current ship, so they cannot accept it if they cannot hold it in their ship. Advanced mission rewards can now be claimed in the Capsuleer Outpost. They've added avoid 0.0 to the navigation mode, which will avoid any 0.0 systems when planning routes. This is massive. I don't know how many times I've done prefer safer and it's taken me through nullsec, and especially if you're sort of around the space that I am and you get thrown into Syndicate, that is not a place you want to be in a faction battleship. The current prioritized high-spec navigation mode now has a higher priority avoiding 0.0 systems. It should have the highest priority of avoiding 0.0 systems, but they have added that in number 15. We can now reprocess modules of meta level 5. This is massive, this is big. I've got so many items from meta 5 that I was just having to delete because they're not worth anything. This is going to really help a lot of us be able to get minerals without having to mine. This is a really good change, really big. All members of an alliance will receive a mail notification when their alliance's maintenance fee is due. Not something I need to worry about anymore. They fixed the issue where avoiding certain systems would cause a wrong distance from the encounter mission to be displayed. I haven't seen this one at all, so I'm not sure what that is, but that's definitely not a new feature. That is a bug fix that should be in a different list. So this is another really big one, considering the Stabber Sniper, for an example, could not viably fit strike cannons on there because of the tiny ass power grid that it had and the massive power grid need of the medium strike cannons. So they rose all of the power grids of the 4 ships, the Stabber Sniper, the Wreath, the Bellicose Interdictor, and the Drake, 952, 340, 705, and 733 respectively. This will really help the Stabber Sniper be actually viable. Mid-slot modules can no longer be used on Capsuleer Outposts. I'm not sure why people would have used them on there. They have no range. They're going to be adding Thanksgiving gifts, which can be claimed on the event page between November 26th and the 29th. It'll be kind of interesting to see what we get there. They've improved the display of special modules fitting permissions, and you can no longer get the special reward emails after creating a new account. They've added reinforcement exit time for Capsuleer Outpost, which is local time. Maybe you can let me know down below what they mean by reinforcement exit time. I'm not sure what that means, whether you're taking the whether you're picking the Capsuleer Outpost up when you de-anchor it, maybe, I guess. Maybe I'm completely wrong there. They've added reminder prompts if the contract content is unreasonable. Now, this is kind of ridiculous. There is a massive part of Eve, in the lifeblood of Eve, that scamming is part of this game. Now you're going to be given dev warning that this contract might be a scam. Maybe it'll clean up the local chat, and maybe it'll help newer players not get scammed all the time. But I still feel the scamming needs to be in the game. It's just part of it. It's part of the feel. So here is an absolutely giant one. The warp speed in high sec has been increased by 100%, and the warp speed in low sec has been increased by 50%. That is absolute insanity, especially since the best way to make money in the game currently is to do Tier 10 storylines. Get those 250mm missions, get the 300mm missions, the 350mm missions. You need to... The time that it takes to do those missions is in the warp time from having to jump 11 jumps, 5 jumps, 7 jumps randomly. But now they're going to be increasing the warp speed by 50%. That's going to cut down your time a lot. I'm not going to complain about that because that is literally all I do to make ISK, and it is very good for me. But they need to make some changes in nullsec to make it more viable to be able to live out there and to make money. They fixed the random order that is pinned to the top in the seller's orders. I always found it weird how there was just some random, really high-priced item at the top. I'm sure that confused a lot of people and they just thought they were buying the cheapest one and they end up spending 50mm on a 10mm item. Alliances will now get a reminder on their maintenance fee, and it will be displayed on the main interface of the Alliance. So they've added some skins for several T4 and Tier 7 ships, and they've added skins for industrial ships and mining ships. I do love skins personally. I do use them and I do purchase them. I always want to look that little bit cooler. They finally fixed after months that when you loot ore in an industrial ship, it will go straight into the ore hold rather than going into your hangar. They've added auditing rules to the wallet audit system. No idea what that means. They've improved the damage number display when the ships are hit. That'll be quite interesting to see how they've done it because I'm actually tired of my ungrouped weapons just spamming stuff up the screen constantly all the time. Improved the display of info and notice. Again, no idea what that means. Now the addresses of the base stations and the Capsuleer outpost can be displayed on the bio screen. No idea why you would do that. Why have they... I mean, I hope that not everyone can see that and only the people in your corp can see that. Because if everyone can see where your Capsuleer outpost is, if they don't know where it is in general, we can just find where everyone's... That makes no sense to me. You can find out where their bases are. You can find out where they're set up in nullsec. I hope that's just for in-corp. When placing a purchase order, you can select the addresses of all space stations within your current region and all trading centers in the universe. That's pretty cool. You'll be able to see what's in nullsec and what is in lowsec when you're in a different region. That'd be quite cool to see that in the ITCs. I can see where the cheapest ship is and I can go and get that from there. When customizing the names of a contacts group, players can now enter up to 20 characters. I'm guessing that is the personal chats that you can create within the game. They've added the available contract interface that can search for the whole service contracts, so you'll be able to see all of them come up on the screen for you. They've adjusted the volume of the shuttle after assembly and packing, because 5000 M3 for a shuttle when it is absolutely the smallest ship in the world. You cannot even fit it inside of a battleship. It makes no sense. You should be able to carry that shuttle around with you, jump in there when you need to do talk missions, and fly back to your battleship. The blur layer on the main HUD has returned. Again, no idea what that is either. Maybe you'll let me know down below what that actually is, because I have not a Scooby-Doo what that might be. So now we move on to the fixes. They fixed the problem of using large drones in the recommended assembly plan for 8 attack battle cruisers. Maybe it's just my lack of sleep, maybe it's the fact that my children have been keeping me up all night, or the addiction to Red Bull not allowing me to sleep. I have no idea what that sentence means. I don't even know what a recommended assembly plan is. Maybe it's the dev-made fittings, I have no idea. They fixed a bug where transactions between different characters of the same player still generate trade locks. A court mate of mine yesterday was complaining that he transferred some stuff from one character on one account to another character on that same account, and he got a massive audit for it when that's not supposed to happen. They fixed the bug where delivered empty assets aren't correctly destroyed. Fixed the bug where the shield's force field is calculated into the capacitor need in the fitting screen. Maybe they should have worked on the group shield and armor boosters as well, messing with the capacitor, how it looks, because it pretends you don't have any fuel even if you do. They've adjusted the special effect of the sensor dampening to reduce RAM usage. This is good for everyone. Fix some issues that would occur when a captured outpost was destroyed while in use. Wonder what issues they would have been. I haven't heard anything about that. And they fixed, they call this an issue. They fixed the issue where wormholes could be searched in the star charts. I pretty much looked at that every single day because dreaming of those wormholes to finally be released. So all in all, we have a couple of good ones in here, a couple of ones that I don't think they should be wasting their time on. The warp speed in high sec and low sec is actually a really good addition, especially for people like me who are doing the storyline missions. The Meta 5 modules being reprocessed is another really big one, really good change there. And the speed of the storyline elites and anomaly elites being reduced is another big and good change. Everything else is kind of just fluff changes. If they have time to make new skins and add new skins to the game, then they have time to fix the broken mechanics. But that's all we have for today. The update will be tomorrow at 8 UTC and it will take roughly 2 hours, so make sure you are docked up before that happens. Remember to like and sub if you haven't already. This is your one-stop shop to everything Eve Echoes. Fly safe and avoid local chat scams.